I started doing stand-up a long, long time ago, and I'm going to tell you about my very first time on stage. I was like 17, and I had no idea. You know, that's the year in between your junior and senior year of school, and everybody starts asking you, what are you going to do with your life? What are you going to be? What are you going to school for? What do you do? And I had absolutely no idea. I was like, what can I do with my life? I have no idea. I didn't have a clue. And then one night, I was actually just sitting at home, and a thought popped into my head that was so profound that I just had to write it down. I had to document it. And that thought was, why do hot dogs come in packages of 10 and hot dog buns come in packages of 8? I have to write that down. I had no idea what I was going to do with it. I didn't keep a journal or a diary or anything, but I had to write that down. Had to be documented. But, I don't know, 3 weeks later, I'm watching The Tonight Show with Johnny Carson, and a comedian, David Brenner, comes out to center stage with his, angel flight pants and his, feathered hair and his silk shirt down to here with the, shark's tooth thing there. And he gets to center stage. He looks right in the camera. He's looking right at me. And he says, why do hot dogs come in packages of 10 and hot dog buns come in packages of 8? Who the hell's got my 2 buns? And I sat there stunned. I mean, my mouth must have been down here. I was like, I have no idea. I don't know why is that guy on national TV stealing my material? I didn't even know I had material at that point, but I knew I had thought of that before I heard it. And so it was that right there when I decided that's what I'm going to do. That's what I'm going to be when I grow up. I'm going to be a stand-up comic. Now, how do you do that? If you want to be a lawyer, you go to law school. You want to be a doctor, you go to med school. You want to be a comic, clown school? Is that? No, what you do is you start going to clubs. And I'm going to tell you a little bit about me, just open up a little bit. I am I don't know, what you call I'm a procrastinator is what I am. And little idea of how much of a procrastinator I am. It took me this long into the show to tell you guys that I'm a procrastinator. And so I started going and hanging out at clubs, but I wasn't going on stage. And I would go and I would watch and I'd study and I'd go back. Sometimes I'd go 3 times a week to the same show and watch the comics. And I'd go and I'd study and I'd go and I'd study. And 8 years go by and I still haven't set foot on stage. Finally, it's the January of 1986, and I said, that is it. If I don't do it now, I am never going to do it. I had that little voice of Yoda in my head, do or do not. There is no try. So I said, I'm going to do it. So I went down the Punchline in San Francisco the first Sunday in January 1986, and I wrote my name on the list to try and get on stage, and I practiced all week, and I was ready to go, and I didn't get on. And the next week, I practiced all week, and I went down and I put my name on the list, and I didn't get on. And the next week, I practiced, and I didn't get on, and didn't get on. And 3 solid months of practicing all week long and not getting on. So then I just decided, you know what? I'm not even going to practice. I'm just going to go put my name on the list. I don't get on anyway. This particular week, March 23rd, 1986, I put my name on the list, and the guy who works the door, Hutch, he is the list maker. I'm sitting at the bar, totally relaxed because I'm getting on stage. He walks by me out of nowhere and says, "You're on tonight." What? What did he say? He said, "You're on tonight." I'm like, oh my God. And that's when the panic started. You know that little trickle of sweat that goes down the back of your neck? That's a river of sweat going the back. I start pacing because, never let them see you sweat. I'm pacing the back of the room. I have no idea when I'm going on, but I know tonight my days as a non-com end. About a couple comics are on stage, and he walks by me again, and I don't even see him coming. He just like some stealth bomber. He just comes by, and he walks by, and he says, "You're on next." Next? Wow. Okay. And then the host comes down and sits next to me, and he says, "What do you want me to say about you?" And I'm thinking, I don't have any credits. I was the badger in my 6th grade production of The Wind in the Willows, but other than that, I got nothing. He says, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. I'll think of something. And he walks away. And now I'm watching the comic that's on before me. The guy that's on before me is bombing in a manner that you cannot even believe. I mean, you've heard of Hiroshima. You've heard of Pearl Harbor. They're like pillow fights compared to what's going on right here. This guy is on stage, and he is digging a hole like nobody's business. Nobody is laughing. And what happens is he's actually forgotten his act. And so he's standing there, and he looks out to the bar where his girlfriend is sitting, and he yells out, Carla! And Carla opens up his notebook and starts reading the joke to him. And he goes, okay, I got it. And then he delivers the joke, silence. Carla! Okay, I got it. I mean, it is so quiet. You can hear ice melting at the bar. That's how quiet it is in this room. Tumbleweeds are rolling through the punchline. Carla! I got it. And finally, he gets off stage. He puts us out of his misery. And the host goes on stage, and I'm next. I'm sitting right there on the side waiting. And he says, okay, ladies and gentlemen, this next comic is another first-timer. Really? Totally lumping me in with Carla's boyfriend. Says, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Dave Pokorny. And I walk on the stage, and I put my drink down. I have no idea. My legs are like Jell-O, how I even got there. I put my drink down. I turn around, and I look directly into the spotlight right there. And I've totally forgotten my act at this point. And I just stand there. What feels like forever, probably like 2-3 seconds. But in my head, I can see calendar pages flipping around, and clocks are spinning like fans, and standing there, and I reach out with my little sweaty palms, and I grab the microphone, I pull it in close, and I go, Carla! Swear to God. And the laugh starts really slowly right up front, and it starts to roll through the room, and it hits the back wall, and boom, it crashes into my chest, and I'm hooked. That's it. This is what I am going to do for my living. Just not tonight, because I've forgotten my act, and I don't have a girlfriend at the bar, so I'm just going to say goodnight, and I walk off stage, and the guy who makes the list, he says, you did the right thing. Once you come back next week, we'll get you a better spot. And I did, so there you go. That's my true story.